This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. There was such a moment of euphoria just after the entire agitation for the Jan Lokpal bill succeeded in forcing the government to have a joint drafting panel. Now, it all seems to have got buried a little bit under weight of scandal, controversy, rows, allegations of smear campaigns, all sorts of things. So today on the program, we're going to first start off by taking a look at some of the issues that have been the subject of direct controversy in the last week or two, especially around the Bhushans. And then we're going to turn to some of the larger issues. Let's come back to the larger issues. What is it that we're trying to achieve out here? How can we root out corruption? What can we do with accountability? And what do the recent events tell us about accountability? And I have to say, we have just about everybody connected with this in some form or the other on this program, on The Big Fight in the next 1 hour, with the exception of the Bhushans. And we did ask them to come. They declined. So let me start by welcoming all of our guests. Right here in the studio, we have with us Mr. Harish Salve, who needs very little further introduction, one of the country's top constitutional and other lawyers. Thank you so much for being with us. Anupam Kher, once again, I would not even deign to introduce you, other than to say, in addition to, of course, being what you are best known for, which is an actor, you've been very closely involved with the Anna Hazare campaign and the movement, and you must be somewhat pained at all that's been happening right now. Raju Ramchandran, former Additional Solicitor General of India. It's great to have you with us, one of the senior advocates right now at the Supreme Court. Pleasure to have you with us. Now let me welcome all the people who are joining us on the program. I'm going to start with Swami Agnivesh, President, World Council of Arya Samaj, of course, very closely associated to Anna Hazare and the entire movement. Great to have you with us. Also with us, Justice Santosh Hegde, Karnataka Lokayukta, member of the drafting committee. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to have you with us on the program. Mr. Amar Singh, whose views have been causing a certain amount of heartburn in just recent days, he's on with us as well. As is Nawab Syed Kazim Ali Khan, MLA of the BSP. The BSP's role in this is interesting. We're going to be getting a view from him as well. From a political viewpoint, we are being joined by Jayanti Natarajan of the Congress Party. Jayanti, thanks for being with us. And from the BJP, Venkaiah Naidu. Great to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on The Big Fight. And finally, Vikas Singh, former Additional Solicitor General, UP government, who is one of the petitioners in this entire Noida issue, also joining us. Thank you all so much for joining us. I just want to dive into some of the specifics that are being spoken about out here, and then we will come to the broader issues. So, Justice Hegde, why don't I start with you? This has been a week that has seen a lot of charges that have been made against the Bhushans in particular, and you yourself got very annoyed by something that Digvijay Singh said. Just tell us, sir, what do you think is actually happening right now?
Well, I think the people in this team, which is trying to get a Jan Lokpal bill passed, or at least have an interaction with the government to persuade them to pass a strong Jan Lokpal bill, is being now somewhat being mired with all sorts of controversies. So that I think the intention seems to be that this committee should not go further. Which would mean that every action taken by this committee for the last 6-7 months and the action of Annaji will be frustrated. That seems to be the idea. That's what I get from the same.
Okay, Mr. Vikas Singh, let me just turn to you. Are all the charges that are being made a politically motivated smear campaign to derail the Jan Lokpal bill movement? Is that what it is, or are there some really serious issues which need to be questioned?
I'll tell you one thing. This Lokpal bill, this constitution of this committee, when it was done, if you recall, there was no discussion on the people who should be in the panel from the civil side, because Anna Hazare was on fast and there was a dialogue going on between the government. And overnight, the government came with this notification, and this notification, these names were spelled out, and that's how we came to know from the TV that these are the names which are there. Now, if you ask me, in the names, you had 5 people. You had to put 5 people there. You had 2 activists there, Anna Hazare and Kejriwal. You had a Supreme Court judge, a very of impeccable integrity, and who's also doing the same kind of work in Karnataka in the state level. So these 3 were ideal. Now you wanted 2 eminent lawyers. Basically, you wanted to have balance in the committee. You should not have gone for activist-oriented lawyers. You should have gone for people with impeccable integrity and whose reputation and standing as a lawyer are undisputed, because then you would have a balance in the committee.
Fine, sir. Point taken. But I'm asking you. You are among the people who's been filing the petition, saying that there were serious improprieties, and therefore the Bhushans do have some serious charges to answer. I'm just asking you. Is there any evidence?
No. Yeah, Vikram, I'll tell you, there is a lot to be clarified in this. Firstly, my petition has got nothing to do with the Bhushans. My petition is a culmination of correspondences which started by me to Mayawati in October of 2010, where I started questioning the manner in which she was doing allotment of land, whether it be institutional land, group housing, commercial or farmhouses. All these lands are being given, at a throwaway price, and premium is collected in cash, and the method of selection is so arbitrary. They have a committee and they call for an interview. The whole idea is to make it so subjective that whoever doesn't pay cash is rejected. Now, I had been writing all these letters, and at the same time, along with 2 other friends of mine who were very eminent doctors of Delhi, had applied for the allotments also. Now, in March of 2003, 30th of March is the date, when an allotment comes in my favor. Now, that allotment is basically to silence me. If I had taken that allotment and kept quiet, I would be succumbing to what Mayawati is doing, and my entire correspondence that I had generated over a period of 7-8 months would have all been set at naught, because then, I would not be in a position to raise that issue, because I have already been allotted something. And what she did also was that she didn't allot these doctors who were probably equally qualified as me to be given that. We all 3 had gone for the interview. So it is at that stage that I took a call in life that whether I'll take this 8-10 crore gift from Mayawati, keep quiet, or I will protest. Now, in spite of the allotment, I protested. I went to the High Court. I said I had 3 prayers in the High Court. My first prayer was that all 3 of us were ready to give 10% extra. Why didn't you give us allotment and preferential allotment? That is a choice of plot. Second was, what is the criteria? Why did these 2 people not be given? Dr. Harsh Mahajan and Dr. Vinay. Those were my prayers. And the third prayer was that you cancel all my allotment, all the allotments, even my allotment, and I'm ready to buy it in auction, whatever be the price. So it's that which has now, these 2 have been linked together. The timing has been such that my thing which started 7-8 months back, and this allotment came, and this Lokpal thing came, and Shanti Bhushan declared his asset where he declared this 10,000 square meter plot.
All right.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.